All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Come on, set. Come on, D. Hey. Get up.
Right back to him on 1st down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Let's go.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Check. Hey, box drop. Check, 55. Get it.
Back to throw here. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it, and there's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding them to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Here we go. Wait. 21.
On first down, Birch. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go. 21, 12, fellas, here we go. Slam.
Now Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run on first down. Birch. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
At the 47-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. Like 20. I'm coming. Check 52. 2.
On first down, Birch. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, Birch. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. 180. Check 53. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
On 3rd down, Birch. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. And he's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.Ey've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Go.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got Smith here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On third down, Swift, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
At the 50-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a give right side. Birch. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
White.
On 2nd down, Birch. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
It's 4th down.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down.
Check 13. Check 13.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
21. Here we go. Check 21. Hey, Delta. Check 53. Hey, alert.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's caught. Smith. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Second and 14. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so to pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
About 15 cents.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on second and 13. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. It's caught by Davis. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
21.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
4 catches already here in this Super Bowl. He's got another first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl.
Brings up second and 1 at the 32-yard line.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down now, Swift. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it third down.
Let's go. 8, read. Coaching, spell. Smooth. Let go.
Back to throw. Man open, it's Moss, complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got it first and goal at the 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. It's a loss of 3 on what should be the final play of the first half.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
All day, defense, all day. 11. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's it, baby.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
21. Here we go. One, Omaha. Hey, do.
Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
We got 3. Six. Lucky. 11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll look to throw here. Well, the connection, this is Ryan Izzo, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Ready? 10 Lobo. Recon, 132 fighter. Get it.
They'll run on first down. Swift. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Down. 10-2 soft. Hey, check.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 4 yards out as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch the shift. 21. Hey, alert.
Garoppolo now. Completes it to Davis. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
And the Dolphins, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
12.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Even. 4 down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Birch. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give, right side. Birch. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
13.
36-yard line.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Birch. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Here we go. 180. Check 45 to Mike. Check back, check back. Check out. 21.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
2nd and 13. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 35. 2 two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, Birch. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He sets to fire deep, and got his man complete. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 15 line. 15 line. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, they'll get only a couple down to the 44. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Looking to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. They'll keep it on the ground. Birch. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2. 11.
Garoppolo on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
How about that part of his second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't